Where's Paul Dahl? I've heard about you for a long time from a guy named Bob Davis.
Oh, really? Yeah, good friend.
Paul is going as an athlete coach, swim team at Palo Verde, was a state champion backstroker 4 years in a row.
Yes, 4 years, backstroke champion.
But okay, I know we started reading about you. You know, Bob had talked about you a lot because he swam too. I guess that you guys took all the best swimmers from Rincon and moved them to Palo Verde. That's what I heard.
Well, that's probably true. The thing about Palo Verde is that there was a lot of community swim pools in that area. Just a whole bunch of them. So when Palo Verde was built, all those swimmers went to Palo Verde, and we were just very fortunate to get all those swimmers.
Now you coach summer swimming, and people that weren't here in the 50s and early 60s, Tucson, not just was a little league town, but all these little areas had their own pools, neighborhood has their own pools, and swimming was a big time thing, young people swimming in Tucson.
Absolutely. Some of my teachers at Palo Verde, because of my swimming background, they wanted me to go and coach some of these other community swim teams. So I was real lucky. The summer before my senior year, we opened up Skyline Bel Air. In Skyline Bel Air, all those people moved there, just opened up, and none of them had ever experienced an age group swim team before. So we just started it out, and they all fell in love with it. And it was great. You get to teach 5-year-old girls and boys, all the way up to 18-year-old boys and girls.
Now you're at Palo Verde, you're also playing basketball too, and
Yes.
football.
Yeah, well, 1 year football, but played basketball 2 years on the varsity. Enjoyed that.
I was asking Bob about it, because Bob swam. He said, I thought swimmers just swam all the time and didn't play other sports, and he was just a different kind of guy.
Yeah, except maybe during the summers. In the summers, we had to put in so many hours of swimming. We'd be down at Randolph at 5 in the morning for practice, then we'd go to the Monty Inn at 11 for practice, then we'd go to the Central YMCA for an hour or two. Excuse me. So there was a lot of swimming hours in there, plus playing basketball summer leagues also. It was tough. I hated to go out and start swimming season because I knew I was going to die for some couple weeks. So.
You know, we're talking about the swimming, but you're also an outstanding basketball coach at Cholla.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to get the varsity job at Cholla. He won a state championship. I was lucky enough to coach Sean Elliott on the JV team, Vance Johnson on the freshman team, and a lot of good basketball players have gone through Cholla High School. And it was fun seeing some of the officials around here. Bobby Rao, Dale Lopez. Enjoyed seeing you guys again. So.
Well, you're coaching both boys and girls there, huh?
Yes, at Cholla High School. Yeah, I had we started out, I started out the girls varsity basketball coach and assistant boys basketball coach. And then they changed the seasons around. So you had to choose whether you were going to stay with the girls or the boys, and I chose the boys. And that's how that went.
Okay. Well, congratulations. Nice
Thank
to
you.
meet you.
Thank you.
Joel Favara. Where's Joel? There he is. How you doing? How are you?
Good to see you.
Okay, I saw in your bio there, you went 3 years at Tucson High and graduated?
Well, back in those days, Tucson High was only a 3-year school. And, you know, as most people know here, that the Tucson High was the only city school in the city of Tucson. And Amphi was there, but they were the county school. And there was South Point, and South Point had just started up. And Tucson High had 3,800 students in those 3 grades. And interestingly enough, that my junior year, we had an all-Catholic backfield at Tucson High. And so South Point really lost out. They missed some good guys.
All right, you got, Tucson High wins 2 state championships. You're all city, you know, all state. You go to the All-American Bowl. Now, where was that and how'd you get there?
Well, the game was in Memphis, Tennessee, and I flew there. Yeah, but as far as communications and all, I was just voted in, and I was probably as surprised as anybody that happened. But went to that game, had a lot of real good, outstanding football players, and had the opportunity after the game to accept a scholarship to Oklahoma A&M, which is now Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I did go to the Oklahoma State-Arizona game this year, and started to leave, but I didn't.
Well, you played there. Now, what conference are they in? Who did you play?
They were in the Missouri Valley Conference, and you know, we played University of Oklahoma every year. We added to their 48-game winning streak, and every year. But we did have a good moral victory our sophomore year, 14-0, and they had people like Tommy McDonald and a lot of All-Americans on that team. We played LSU, we played Kansas State, played Tulsa, Wichita State, Texas Tech. We played, you know, a lot of different good schools in Wyoming and so forth.
So you had, I mean, talking about your career there, you were the team captain. You had some great seasons there. What happened that you had an injury?
Well, yes, my senior year I was a team captain, and we were having a pretty good season. And about mid-season, I threw a terrible block and got a back injury and broke off 3 of the transverse processes. Put me in infirmary, a hospital for about 3 weeks, and came home to Tucson, recouped, and went back up and finished out my scholarship for the remainder of that year and then the next year as well.
So you start your coaching career in high school there, but then you go to Safford, Arizona.
Yeah. Well, prior to that, the coaching staff at Oklahoma State asked me if I would help them out and get some experience. So I got to coach 2 spring practices at Oklahoma State. I got to coach all the freshman year at Oklahoma State, the backs, and that was the first year they had African-American football players recruited to Oklahoma State, so that was a real pleasure and experience. And these were good football players and just better people than that. After I got that kind of experience, I did get a head coaching job down at Comanche, Oklahoma, down south Oklahoma, and that's where I coached a couple of boys, the Satterfield boys, and they had a good-looking sister. And after 2 years, I married her, and we've been married now for 54 years.
So then you're Safford, then you end up at Sunnyside.
Yeah, after Safford, we spent 8 years in Safford, and we had a great combination of players there. We had some African-American boys, we had some Hispanic, and we had some good Mormon boys, and they all gelled and worked together. And we were fortunate enough to win several conference championships and a state championship. And then from there, I did go to Sunnyside, where I was the head coach at Sunnyside for a few years, and head of the PE department, and established a pretty good PE program there as well.
Well, congratulations. Thank you.